Good evening. I'm Dr. Gus Penix, President of the Nicholas County Board of Education. I'd like to call this the May the 3rd, 2021 regularly scheduled meeting of the board to order at this time. Would you please rise and join the board in a moment of silent reflection? It gives us opportunity to reflect on those things for which we have to be thankful, but also to clear our hearts and minds for the business we're going to consider here this evening. So a moment of silent reflection, please. Thank you. Would you please join the board in saluting our country with the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. May be seated. We begin this evening's meeting with recognitions. Today, the first set of recognitions comes from our Career and Technical Center, and I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Bayless.
I don't think so. Thank you, Dr. Penix. Thank you, Board of Education, Dr. Dietrich. We really appreciate the opportunity to come and recognize our students. We love to do this, and we need to do it more often, so thank you for the time letting us come here. Thank you for the parents and students for showing up today. And I'll make this really quick, but this being Teacher Appreciation Week, I would feel bad if I didn't at least recognize some teachers that helped you guys get where you are so you can be recognized. So with us today from the Tech Center, we got Mr. Miller, Mr. Odell, Mrs. Cooper, and Mrs. Kessler. So guys, thank you for preparing our students and getting them ready so they can be recognized and all the great things you guys do every day for them. Some housekeeping chores for you guys. Thought you'd be up here, it'd be real easy, but it's not the case today. So the board's going to stand up and come out front. So the board, you guys do that for us. We're going to recognize 3 groups of students here today: our Skills, Hosa, and our AA program. So we want everybody to stay till the entire thing's over with. It should only take about 20 minutes. So Skills, we're going to do you first. And Mr. Odell, if you can come on up. We're going to recognize, when we call your name, just please come up there and stand in front of the board members. And once all of you guys have been recognized, we'll take a picture and go back to your seats. Then we'll do the next group, then the third group. And once we're completely done, you guys can exit, and you'll exit out there behind this back door on the right by Mr. Williams. Okay? That good, Miss?
Yep.
Okay. Make sure I'm right by the boss here. Okay. Mr. Odell.
Thank you, Mr. Bayless. On behalf of Nicholas County Skills USA chapter, I would like to thank Dr. Dietrich and the board members for taking a few moments to recognize our students' hard work throughout the actually past couple of years. Mr. Bayless, thank you. Also want to thank Mrs. Kessler, my cohort in all this. She keeps us all straight, but she's the co-advisor and helped us out a bunch. But as you know, this year, as far as education goes, it hasn't went exactly like we would like, and same way, you know, with student organizations, you know, it's been a struggle keeping them moving forward and keeping them together. But I tell you what, these students have you know, stepped up to the task this year and made the best out of the bad situation. So I'd like to recognize 3 students. First of all, this first young man, he has been a Skills USA officer for the past 2 years. He was a reporter as well as our vice president this year, and he won gold in nurse assisting at the state level this year. And as most of you probably know, he will be representing our state in the national competition. So, Mr. Devin Edwards, if you would come up. Okay, the next young lady we have, she was also a skills officer this year. She was our reporter, and she also won gold in the Skills USA West Virginia competition, and that would be Stephanie Cole. The last young man I want to introduce here, he was one of mine, and I'll tell you what, I feel it's been a privilege to have been his instructor for the last few years. It's been a joy. He was also a Skills USA officer this year. He was our parliamentarian, and he won bronze in the employment application process. Jacob Collins.
Got Ms. Cooper? All right. You guys have a seat here. Thank you very much.
You need to scatter them out so you can see the board.
Maybe with a little bit.
We're just going to keep you hidden there.
I think we've got everybody peeking out. Okay.
Congratulations, guys.
Well, we also have another student organization at the Tech Center, and it's called Hosa, and it's based around nursing skills. Well, that's basically it, nursing skills. Ms. Kessler, come on up here and talk about Hosa and how well your kids done this year.
Thank you, Mr. Bayless. Very quickly, before I do talk about Hosa, I want to mention one more thing about Skills USA. You may or may not know, Mr. Odell, who was just up here with us, pours his heart and soul into Skills USA. There is no advisor that will give these students any more than he does. And he was named our state of West Virginia 2021 Skills USA advisor for the entire state. So I think so as Mr. Bayless said, Hosa is strictly for health professionals around the state and actually internationally. So I had 8 students this year to compete. Of those 8 students, 7 placed gold, silver, or bronze. So I'm super proud of my students in this super strange year that we've had. I've seen them about half as much as I should. So I'm super proud of these students who were able to do as well as they did. The first student I want to recognize is actually my only first-year student that competed, and she placed bronze, Kylie Wright. She participated in the behavioral health knowledge test. Kylie, I'm going to go ahead and give you your medal this evening because the other students that are graduating tomorrow will get theirs, so I want you to go ahead and have yours for this evening. My next student placed bronze as well, so 3rd place for the nutrition knowledge test, Stephanie Cole. And next up with a silver medal for human growth and development knowledge test is Amanda Abarca. And our first gold medalist in the Research Persuasive Writing and Speech category is Cyan Deal. And another gold medalist in Nurse Assistant Skills, Devin Edwards. And I have 2 students who couldn't be here with us this evening. They had work commitments. Gold medal, Clinical Specialty Skill Presentation, Brycey Hamrick. And silver medal, Medical Spelling, Jacqueline Dudley.
Congratulations, everyone.
Way to go. Congratulations.
Now we have another group of students we'd like to recognize. This group, well, I don't want to steal Mrs. Cooper's thunder, but this group actually completed or tried to complete their associate's degree in either business or education and their high school diploma at the same time. And that's about 60 hours of college credit. So it's really tough to do, and I'm super proud of these kids for doing this. So, Mrs. Cooper.
Okay, I'm Mrs. Cooper, and I teach business and education at the Career Center, and I have, okay, I'm not going to cry. I've worked with these kids the last 2 years, and they have sacrificed so much time to complete this associate's degree. Getting those assignments turned in by 11:59 every Sunday night. Whether we were quarantined or closed down or whatever it did, they just kept on working 60 hours. And they got it done. So I'm really proud of them, and I'm going to recognize each of them. So I'll just go in order. Megan Pritt, she has an area of emphasis in business. Megan Shaw, also business. Faith Lipscomb, business. And I will stop just a minute to say that I have had Peyton and Faith every year since they were freshmen, so I really don't miss them. I also have Abigail Hammond, she's education. Jordan Morris, business. And the last one that is here, I think, is Zach Toller, business. Sydney King, education. Also received the Underwood Smith Teaching Scholarship for Marshall when she's going to attend Marshall. So that's a huge, only 25 seniors in the state of West Virginia are chosen for that. So that's a big accomplishment. I'm so happy I got to work with her at least 1 year. We also had Emma and Lily Kidd. They could not be here. And who else are we missing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's it. Okay, that's good. My AA students.
Congratulations.
All right. So what
Now, they will start as juniors when they go to college
Yes.
next year. Wow, that's something else.
They each have some great stories to tell about their transferring their credits and getting into their programs.
Yeah.
They're
That's great.
They're great.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I just want to make a very brief statement. So, as the board members stand up here, I took a leap of faith a couple of years ago, and I asked this board to please support these students in an associate's degree program. We were told it would be very difficult, very challenging for students, and it would be your best and your brightest that would ever be able to complete this program. A lot of people expected only 2 or 3 students. Today, we have before you 9 students graduating from high school with an associate's degree. And not only that, but this board saw fit to appropriate the money to make sure that they walk out without paying a dime. And they also made sure that the textbooks were covered. So this is a big pat on the back to these board members for what they did. This is a huge jump for Nicholas County and the students. I'm so proud of every one of you.
Okay. Is this the exit scene?
This is the exit scene.
Yeah, we exit out this side, through the back door. Then we have another group that's on the other side. Back to order from recess. SCTV, are you back on? Mr. Hanshaw, are we back on? The board will reconvene from recess. At this time, we're going to recognize the Nicholas County School Service Personnel of the Year, and I'm going to turn that over to Dr. Tetrick and Mrs. Mao and Tony. Mr. Nichols.
See which one. Yes, please. If y'all can come down Each year I have the great honor of being able to personally greet each service personnel employee for each school system. And then out of the service personnel employees, we have a county level service personnel employee of the year. And, you know, it's quite an honor to be recommended by your staff and your colleagues who are so proud to work with you. And each and every one of you go above and beyond your duties. And I'm so appreciative of you, and this board is so appreciative of you. I'll have to say that we have rave reviews for the food in our schools. We just recently had a tour of several of our schools with the State Department of Ed, State Board of Education, and the State Superintendent of Schools, at which time they raved about the cleanliness of our schools and the maintenance of our schools. So we've received great praise for the jobs that each of you do, and I just want you to know that I'm very, very appreciative. So at this time, I will ask each of you, I will have Mrs. Mao will call out your names, and if you could each come forward, I will hand you your plaque.
From Birch River Elementary is Pam Woods.
Appreciate all that you do. Okay. Thank you.
You want a group picture of them too? Or the students?
From Cherry River Elementary is Debbie Mullen.
Debbie Mullins is not here.
From Lake Creek Elementary is Monica Smith.
Congratulations.
Okay.
Thank you.
From Gully River Elementary is Ginger McQueen.
Oh, would you like to? We will have the principal. She will stand in. What a fine lady you are.
But you can't keep it though.
You can't keep it.
Okay.
Thank you.
From Mount Lookout Elementary, Vicki Morston. She couldn't be here. From Mount Nebo Elementary, Debbie Lopertrone.
She couldn't be here either.
From Panther Creek Elementary, Lisa McClung.
She couldn't be here either.
We're on a roll.
From Summersville Elementary, Alicia Keffer. Okay.
Thank you.
From Zela Elementary, Robin Short. From Ridgewood Middle School, Bill Roberts.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Heard wonderful things about you.
Thank you.
And the drive about washing the teachers' cars, that was wonderful. That shows some appreciation, doesn't it?
From Summersville Middle School, Seth Balstick.
He was supposed to be there. He may be on 5 o'clock.
From Ridgewood High School, Mary Jane Moore.
She couldn't be here.
From the Career Center, Tia McMillian.
She couldn't be here, but Tom.
Tom.
Well, it's not here.
Tom.
I'll take it, but I won't get my picture taken with you.
Tia McMillian.
Maybe someone grabbed it.
Well, that makes it easier then.
We will find it.
Yeah, we'll find it. And representing the Central Board Office is Nicole Workman.
The one who keeps us all together.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
All nominations this year were exceptional individuals who have contributed greatly to making their schools successful. This made it extremely difficult to decide who would be awarded the Nicholas County Service Personnel of the Year Award to represent our county at the state level. The selected individual was not only recognized as an exemplary employee by the school administrator, fellow co-workers used the following words and phrases when describing the character and work ethic of the individual. Her work ethic is impeccable. She is hardworking and dedicated to her job. She has established wonderful rapport with so many. She has been a treasure of our school for many years. Her willingness to serve others is a driving force. She is always full of joy and spreads joy to everyone around her. She is so kind-hearted and truly loves our kids. She always has a smile on her face and talks to every child who goes through the line. It is with great honor to recognize Debbie Mullins, Cafeteria Manager at Cherry River Elementary, as the 2021 Nicholas County Service Personnel of the Year. In the words of her co-workers, she deserves this honor for her many years of service to the children and staff of Cherry River Elementary. We love you, Debbie. And unfortunately, she was not able to come today, but thank you, Ms. Mullins. There's been wonderful, wonderful things said about her. That's it.
Thank you all.
So,
We'll move on with our meetings. Did you want to get a group picture?
yes, could each of you come up and so we can get a group picture, please?
Okay, let's see. See everybody?
Maybe take the plastic off.
Yeah. Mr. Berry, can you stand this way just a bit? Thank you. Okay, you're set.
Oh, okay.
Sam, get up here.
Anybody knows that I'm always late.
Seth Bostic.
You don't have to stunt or form another row.
Yes, sir.
Maybe middle closer.
Okay, so can I see everybody? I can see everybody. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, can we get one of Seth, please?
We're done, right?
Guys, get over here, exit out that back.
Mom, exit out this corner.
Thank you, sir.
Just in the nick of time, Seth.
Take care of yourself. Item 4 on this evening's agenda is to approve the minutes of meetings held on March the 15th, 2021, April 20, 2021. That is the reconvened meeting, the April 2021 regular meeting, and April 2021 personnel hearing. Is there a motion to approve the minutes for those meetings?
So moved.
Mr. Amick moves. Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
Mrs. Kaufman seconds. Any further discussion in regard to the meeting minutes for those meetings? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, like sign. Madam Secretary, the motion passes unanimously. Is Delegate Tully with us this evening?
She's not here yet.
Not here
I
yet?
told her not to come.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll move on to item 6 this evening. Approval of the 2021-22 school calendar, and I believe we have Mrs. Bragg with us in regard to that calendar.
You're welcome.
Okay, what I've handed you is a little bit of a revamp of the calendar that we had out for vote. This is very close to calendar B. I got a call from Teresa Hammond at the State Department, and because I had in the calendar non-traditional instruction days for the time off during the week of Thanksgiving, she said a whole bunch of counties did the same thing, so she made phone calls to tell us we weren't allowed to do that. So this calendar has the exact same start date. The half piece of paper I gave you is just a synopsis of first day for employment term is the same, 8/16. First day of instruction is 8/19, it's the same. And the last day of instruction was just a little, I think the last day for the one that everybody voted on was 5/25 or 5/26. I can't remember now, and I didn't think to bring it in with me. But the last day on this calendar is 5/27. Planning for closure of schools is June 1st, and the last employment term is 6/9 for 200-day employees. It's very similar. I just took the NT days out. When you take those out, because they're counted as instructional days, it bumps everything else back. There's still a spring break, a week off. Those O days mean outside of school calendar. They're not paid days, they're not taught days. The OS days at the end of the calendar are compensated days, but they're not taught.
So this is the calendar that the majority of the school personnel.
Yes.
Are there any further questions for Mrs. Gregory in regard to the school calendar that is being recommended for approval tonight?
I know you put in a lot of hard work on this. We appreciate it.
Yes, thank you. Hearing no further questions, thank you, Mrs. Gregory. Thank you. The next item under action items is the information and approval for in lieu of taxes requested by the future nursing home to be constructed in Nicholas County. Dr. Tetrick, Kevin Hess, Garrett Cole, and/or Craig Chapman. Madam Superintendent. Mr. Hess. And Mr. Chapman's with us, so you might want to come up. Glad to have you with us, Mr. Chapman, this evening, our County Commissioner, and thank you for coming to our meeting this evening.
I'll provide the experts here in just a moment. I was invited to a meeting, and I've had several discussions concerning a new nursing home that will be constructed in Nicholas County. And the question about taxes and being a tax benefit, tax breaks for new businesses entering the county, the city of Summersville. Of course, there's going to be wonderful opportunities for our students and an increased tax base for the school system. But anyway, it's a very good thing. I'm excited about it, and I'm going to turn it over to the experts. So Kevin Hess will be able to impart some of his information, as well as Craig Chapman, County Commissioner, who will be able to provide any, I'm sure, answer any questions that anyone may have.
Okay, my name is Craig Chapman, Nexus County Commission. If anybody doesn't know me, that's who I am. There's a new nursing home plan that's bought the beds from, I guess it really would have been the city of Summersville's beds that's at the existing hospital, which was 50 beds. They're going to turn it into a 90-bed facility, 90 or 99. It's going to create about 130 jobs. It's going to be roughly a $30 million project. So what they came to the commission with was, we'd like to build this, and we would like to turn the property itself over to NRGDA, the economic development platform that we work with. And when they do that, we can give them a tax break on their property, the real property, not the personal property and things that will be inside, but the real property. So what will happen is when the Economic Development Fund takes over the property, they lease it back to them. They did this several years ago with Collins Hardwoods. I think maybe Columbia was under the same thing when they did it. But they come to us and ask us, in lieu of their taxes they would pay on, which their real property, they're estimated to be around $18 million when they get it completed, which their tax base would probably be in a little over $200,000. So they come to us with a proposal of $50,000 per year for 10 years in lieu of that tax amount. We talked it over and we came back to them with a counteroffer and told them $75,000 for 10 years, and it would stop at 10 years. The two restrictions we put on them was that you guys agreed with it and gave us your blessing too, because you get the majority of the money out of the taxes. And the other part was that they had to still pay on their property taxes. In other words, the stuff that's inside the building, all their medical equipment, the beds, the things like that, which should be somewhere in the neighborhood of around $12 million is what they're estimating on that they would pay taxes on. Not that amount, but what they would pay taxes on. So that's why we basically voted as a commission to okay it. The city of Summersville's 100% behind it. They did, like I said, purchase the beds from WVU and the city of Summersville Building Commission just recently, so that deal did go through. There are some other things they're going to do with this. This facility is really a neat facility. They told us a lot about it. I brought some brochures and things here tonight if you guys want to leaf through them. But they're also planning 4 more facilities to go along with it that are assisted livings. So not full nursing homes, but assisted livings, which will be about 12,000 feet each. So that's where we are. So like I said, we put our stamp of approval on it, and we're just asking for your blessing, because I believe when you do a pilot plan, you guys do have to sign off on it also.
The assisted living, is that in Nicholas County as well?
It'll be on the same property.
On the same property, okay. Thank you.
And like I said, there's around 50 beds now. This is going up to 90 or 99. And also the jobs are more than going to double. So, and they do have plans inside the hospital, the wing that they're taking from the nursing home. They actually have plans, the hospital does, to do some things with that. And from what I understand, the money that they bought the beds from WVU with, that I think it was $3 million goes right back into the remodel of that wing. So there'll be some more jobs created right there.
So is it going to be housed at a different location than where it is now?
Yes, it'll be a brand new facility right across from the DHHR office. Do you know where the new DHHR office is? Behind CDS. Back in there. Yeah, from about where that lawyer's office is, all the way back through to where, yeah. So it's going to be a pretty big, and I'll look into things like, right now we're collecting around $6,000 off of that piece of property, tax-wise. and we're about to jump to 75,000. So it's a win-win no matter how you look at it.
This is probably a wise decision with our population aging.
And these will be really good jobs. The guy told us that probably the minimum per hour will be $15. That will be the very lowest wage that they will pay. And there'll be a lot of nursing, doctors. There'll be actually doctors, from what I understand, in the facility at all times.
Madam Superintendent, is this something that can be worked in conjunction with our comprehensive high school up here at Glen Creek, at the careers program with training? Is that something?
That's exactly what I talked with the county commissioner about, and of course he was very supportive of that. And it's my understanding that he and Delegate Tully are going to get a meeting set up with the new owners so that we can work out some of those details, because some of the things that they talked about is pretty exciting with the technology advances that they'll have in this facility with these interactive TVs that people can, talk to each other on the TVs and things like that. So there's going to be a lot of room for our students who are in the technology program to go in and work in that facility. Our CNAs, our students who do nutrition, the ones who do custodial work, for laundry, all of those types of things. I can see many, many, many job opportunities, because one of the things that I'm very hopeful of in our academy approach, that the senior year, that most students have an opportunity to actually go out in the real world and work. So this type of facility would really provide a lot of opportunities for our kids. So I'm excited about it. And I'm also very appreciative. He mentioned something earlier, and I commend the county commission for this, but that they made it a non-negotiable that they wanted the Board of Education's blessing to move forward on this. And I just think that's very nice that the county commission realized us as partners and and had that as part of the non-negotiable. It's appreciated.
Even though you take all of it.
That's right.
Mr. Hess?
Not all of it, just most of it.
We know that you have something to say about the money. Step up and tell us.
Actually, Mr. Chapman has pretty much covered all the details on the in lieu portion. As you know, we have a couple in lieus right now, and as he said, it's a win-win situation. Based upon the tax base right now, and the promise of additional jobs, the facilities, and tax benefits to the system.
Will the $75,000 per year for 10 years, will that go toward the purchase, or is that tax?
That's just a tax.
That's
just their property.
$750,000.
Yeah.
Well, and plus they're going to pay. They're also going to pay on their personal property. Above and beyond.
And you did use that's $12 million approximately.
Yeah, somewhere like that. And the one reason that they ask for this tax break is it allows them to build a bigger facility. If we would have said no, they would have just scaled back. And the other thing of it is the good thing with this facility is it's going to be a very nice facility. The worst thing they're running into right now is material costs have just went crazy, as you all will know. And so that's a real hindering thing right now. So they actually would like to break ground as early as June if we can get all this taken care of.
Did you say you had some materials to leave with us? Is it?
She's good. Yes.
Yes, they'll pass those around, and and if this board, I want to say that one thing that I would ask this board to approve this tonight, so that we can be part of the agreement and moving forward and doing great things for this county.
With the last group to agree, is that right, Craig?
So far, I think the NRGDA, I think they put their stamp on it, as long as you guys and we do.
How many units did you say the assistant living housed?
I don't think I have that answer.
You don't have
I know it's about 12,000 square feet each building. There's supposed to be 4 of them.
And they still have room there for rebuilding assisted living, adding one to this assisted living in there?
There'll be separate buildings, but they'll be on the same property.
Any further questions for Mr. Chapman? Superintendent, Mr. Hess. Mr. Chapman, thank you for including us and coming and talking with us this evening, and we're going to be taking action here in just a few minutes if you want to stick around.
Okay.
So,
Thank you.
but thank you.
Thank you.
Any further discussion in regard to action item B? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve actions items A and B as presented this evening?
Make that motion.
Mr. Berry moves. Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
Mrs. Kaufman seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, like sign. Madam Secretary, the motion passes unanimously. We're going to go back for just a second in our agenda to, is it time? Are we ready?
Looks like most of my peeps are here.
All right.
Do you think they're all here?
Well, let's wait another
Because we have
couple
5
of
more
minutes.
minutes.
Yeah.
Mr. Hess, if you would come up and discuss payment of current invoices with us, and then we'll pause after that.
Okay.
You received a copy of the payment of current invoices electronically, so Mr. Hess, go ahead.
Yes. Do you have any questions on those payment of current invoices?
Did I miss the payment to the library? Or did you miss the payment to the library?
I think it's mentioned in there.
It's
I may have overlooked it.
It went through accounts payable. I'm not sure if we got it in this run.
There, it hit
It is.
$20,000.
Yeah.
It's accounts payable to
I just missed it then.
the library.
Oh, there it is, yeah.
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm. Any other questions on payment of current invoices?
Don't hear any. Let's go ahead and start with item B, change order for Canal Stone.
Canal Stone has issued a change order to their contract for the work being done at Cherry River Elementary on the construction project. And as soon as I find it, I'll talk about it a little bit more. There's a wall that they originally budgeted at, I believe was, let me find my paperwork here first.
45,000.
Yeah. We issued a change order for $55,000 to construct the wall that's necessary, and I included the details of that wall in your packet. So the original cost was $45,633, and so the revised cost is now $101,086.36. So we'd ask the board to approve that change order, which is going to be necessary to the construction of the site.
Was that the wall up behind the school? Between the street and the school?
Down
I actually don't
Legion-
know.
Runs down Legion Street.
It all goes down.
Legion
yeah.
Street, where the Tannery
Oh,
Gym
okay.
is, yes.
Did we get that little thing settled with the property owner over there?
There wasn't really anything to settle, he just complains.
He just, okay. He was just making noise, huh?
What was the main cause of doubling the amount? I mean, how could,
For the wall,
yeah,
there was a bid for sloped and it stepped, and it was bid in as one, I don't remember, one was sloped, one was stepped. And after they got in and with the conditions, once the conditions were evaluated, it was determined that one,
It was sloping, they had to go do a step.
they had to do a
They're
step,
doing
yes,
steps
it was,
now.
yes. And so because of that, that was a price increase.
Like I always tell Kevin, never change order means more money.
Most generally. Okay, so if there are no other questions on that, I do have some other contracts. The Nicholas County High School has presented a contract to hold their high school graduation on May 21st at the Nicholas County Arena and Conference Center. So we'd like to ask the board to approve that. They'll be paying any fees associated with the rental from the school funds. They also would like to host their prom there. Trying to find it. That's going to be on May 8th. We have another contract with Richwood High School for Thursday, May the 20th, for their graduation.
Let me pause you there for a second. We've had lots of questions. The seniors at Richwood High School went online, did an anonymous vote, and they are the ones who chose to bring their graduation to Summersville, to the Armory. And one of the reasons behind that is the restrictions that we have with the number of people that can be in the location per graduation guidance. And when they made the decision, I believe they made the decision for Richwood to move so they could have more family and friends attend their graduation. So I in no way, this board, nor did I make that decision for anyone. That was done by the students at Richwood High School. I wanted to clarify that because I've been getting questions.
Item 5 on the agenda is a contract between the Nicholas County Board and the Nicholas County Veterans Memorial Park. We lease the parking for our stadium, and the cost is $5,000 per year. And so I'll ask the board to approve that as well.
Has there been a decision made on the Richwood High prom?
Yes, the students voted to keep the prom in Richwood.
Do they have a date or?
Yes, it hasn't changed. I don't remember what the date was, but
Okay,
it ended up being about 50.
That's all right, I'm probably not going anyway.
Well, it ended up being about 50 students, so because of that, there was enough room to accommodate the students without any issues really. So the students voted to keep the prom there.
Will parents be able to come in to see the promenade?
They're trying to work out a way for the promenade to occur and for the parents to go in one at a time, take pictures, and exit the building. So I think so. They're trying to work that out.
Item 6 is a contract between the board and Summersville Arena and Conference Center as well for the Summersville Middle School Spring Formal to be held on May the 7th. And that's all the contracts for this evening.
Go ahead with the bids.
Bids, we have a bid. We had to bid some condensers and evaporators for the freezer and refrigerators at Panther Creek. And after we bid that out, we had one bid from Douglas Equipment for $15,640.51. So we'd like to ask the board to approve that bid.
Are they going to replace the coolers and all those appliances, or?
No, just the condenser and evaporators.
Oh, okay, on the roof?
Yep.
Okay.
One quick question on the convention center. Who pays that? The school?
The school, the students, yeah, they have that in their prom account, and I'm sorry, the school pays it.
Any other questions on finance?
Thank you, Mr. Hess. At this time, we will move back in the agenda to item.
Are you going to take the vote?
Oh, that's right, we do have to take a vote.
Please.
Yeah. Is there a motion to approve consent items A, B, and C as presented this evening?
So moved.
Mr. Amick moves. Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
Mrs. Kaufman seconds. Any further discussion in regard to finance items, contracts, and bids? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, like sign. Madam Secretary, the motion passes unanimously. Now we'll return back to item C. That's item 3C, and it is the recognition of teachers. And at this time, I'm going to turn it over to the superintendent
And Tony.
and Mr. Nexus.
Mr. President, we didn't approve the action items, the 2 action items, did we?
We did. We did.
That's what you just voted on.
7, not 6. Did we do 7, not 6?
That was a mistype on there. It should be a
Yes,
6
it
rather
should have
than a
been a
7.
6.
Yeah, I think we did 6.
Yeah, we did 6.
Oh, okay, sorry,
And we did approve that, yes.
excuse me.
Oh. That's number 2.
This school year has been very difficult for students across the state, but this year it has been especially difficult for Nicholas County students and staff because they suddenly lost 3 dedicated teachers who were the pillars of their schools and loved by everyone. This Board of Education wanted to recognize and honor these individuals, and the principals asked me to nominate the teachers as an Honorary Teacher of the Year. So it is with my honor to present these awards to the family members of these outstanding teachers: Mark Shiflett, Mark Fleming, and Amanda Bragg. The principals and teachers provided me with some information that they wanted me to share concerning these individuals. Mark Shiflett, a beloved educator, colleague, and friend who dedicated over a quarter of a century to Nicholas County High School, had an incomparable capacity for humor and wit. Mark inspired his students to plan for the future and prepared them for a multitude of career paths with the unmatched rapport he established with every student from all walks of life. Mark was an expert in the field of chemistry, but his proficiency extended far beyond the classroom. His memory lives on in the halls of the high school and in the hearts of the students he encouraged, motivated, and loved. Nicholas County will never be the same without the scholarly, good-natured, bad joke aficionado that was Mark Shiflett, but the world is undoubtedly a better place for having him in it. So if the family of Mark Shiflett is here, could you come please get his plaque? We appreciate the years of service your husband provided and the love he showed our students. If everyone will look at me. Thank you. Mark Fleming's dedication to coaching knew no bounds. During his long career at Nicholas County High School, Mark served as a football coach, wrestling coach, gym teacher, and athletic director. He spent countless hours before, during, and after school assisting young athletes and students with panache for making them feel significant, and cared for. Mark's enthusiasm for football was abundant, and he left a lifelong impact on the players he coached over 3 decades. Mark's commitment to his students' success on the field can only be matched with his commitment to his students' prosperity beyond high school. His legacy will be cherished by the athletes, students, and staff he leaves behind in Nicholas County High School. So if the family of Mark Fleming, please come forward. Thank you. Amanda Bragg. She was a 4th grade teacher at Golly River Elementary. She was very passionate about helping her students to achieve and to be successful as possible. She was steady in her commitment and dedication to the students in her classroom, but she would help any student in the school in any way possible. Smiling and greeting students is what Amanda did every morning on her way down the hallway. Her end goal was to help students become successful and productive students when they moved on to the middle school. Amanda was always befriended her parents so that they could work together for the well-being of the student. Not only did she focus on the academics with her students, but she expected them to act in a kind, considerate, and caring fashion to everyone they encountered. Amanda had a love for the outdoors and spent weekends on the scenic highway or on the Golly and Cherry Rivers, very often with her family. Amanda had a multitude of friends and colleagues who loved her dearly. Amanda also held a second job at Kraft Kings and enjoyed serving her customers who also loved her. Amanda worked hard to make sure her children, Gracie, a senior at Richwood High School, and Eli, a 5th grader at Golly River Elementary, would have many opportunities to be successful in this life. Be assured that her memory will live on in the halls of Golly River. The impact she made on everyone at our school will never be forgotten. We're very deeply grateful to their contributions to Nicholas County Schools. Their legacy will live on in the lives of each student they've touched. Thank you. And if I could have Amanda's, if Pat Matheny has agreed to come up and accept Amanda Bragg's plaque. Thank you. It's been just such a difficult year, and I'm so appreciative that the families were able to come out tonight. It's bittersweet. We have the Nicholas County Teacher of the Year Awards. We have such phenomenal teachers. Guys, in this time of crisis, it's been unbelievable with the way people have come forward to support our kids in crisis, our families in crisis, and still striving to help our students learn as much as they can possibly learn in our educational system. It's such an honor to work with such individuals here. I've never seen such kindness that I've in any school system that I've ever seen in Nicholas County, and the passion that we feel for compassion we feel for everyone. So I do have the great honor every year of being able to look at some of our wonderful teachers and acknowledge them, because your peers made recommendations for each of you to be here tonight and be recognized by this County Board of Education. So at this time, I would like to call each of you up, and I would also like for you to stay to get a group picture at the end. First person I would like to recognize at Birch River Elementary is Leah Sisson. She's not here tonight? Okay. Cherry River Elementary, Kathy Barnett.
Do you want to call that? Okay. Do you want to take that plastic copy and send it to us?
Golly River Elementary, Mary Griffith. Pat, you get to do this all again.
Oh, you can stand in for it. You look like a Mary.
Ginger, that I look like Mary. Glade Creek is Madison Cole.
Congratulations, Madison.
Okay.
Mount Lookout is Patty Ellswick.
Congratulations.
Mount Nebo is Tammy Marks.
Congratulations. Oh, I'm sorry, wait a minute, your husband did not get a picture. Oh, did you get it? Okay.
Panther Creek is Chip Perrine.
Congratulations, sir.
Summersville Elementary is Abigail Hoover.
Congratulations.
Zela Elementary is Christy Lott Black.
Congratulations.
Richwood Middle School is Lisa Cole.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Summersville Middle School is Autumn Saminsky.
Congratulations.
And Richwood High School is Melissa Scott. And I don't believe she's here this morning.
One of these days, I'm going to bring a snare drum in, and I'm going to do a drum roll for this.
Hey, Don, how about you do a group picture? How about you do a group picture first? Or never mind?
Oh, it's okay. We can get this. This year's Nicholas County Teacher of the Year has multiple certifications in reading, math, learning disabilities, and administrative leadership. She has taught for 21 years in 5 Nicholas County schools as an elementary and middle school teacher. She has served as a school leadership team member, PLC facilitator, and Grad 2020 contact and Math for Life facilitator. She sponsors Yearbook, Junior Honor Society, Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and RAISE. She organizes school events such as West Virginia Heritage Day and Read Across America. She is highly regarded in her school as a teacher who goes above and beyond for her students. She believes in teaching students to change their mindset and become risk takers in mathematics. She challenges her students to believe they are and can become good math students, helping them develop a true understanding of math and encourages them to become mathematical thinkers and problem solvers. The Nicholas County Teacher of the Year for 2021 is Lisa Cole. Very well deserved. Very well deserved. And if everyone would come up and we'll get a group picture. Let's do a group picture.
Yeah, get in front of us, get in front of us, we don't care.
Yeah.
You always.
Okay, we're gonna have to scrunch. Still gotta come in. We gotta come in or we gotta make 3 rows. I still can't get you all in. I'm short. Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3. And I'll let some of these other people take some pictures.
Still cameras up. Everybody hold still. Okay, I think that's it.
Congratulations, everyone.
Make me walk up here.
Lisa, did you want your plastic cover?
Thank you.
Thank you, Christopher. Go ahead and pass this. Let's see if Lisa wants her plastic
If it wasn't on here, I wouldn't have done it. I was on here. That was cool. See ya.
Okay, item 8 on this evening's agenda is personnel. Mrs. Atkins, Madam Superintendent, board members, is there a need for an executive session relative to personnel?
No.
Okay. Mrs. Atkins.
Yes, you have before you the revised personnel agenda. Copies have been made available to the press and the public. I will read over the changes. They are in red and highlighted in yellow. Under professional, for the 3rd grade teacher at Gully River, they had a candidate that they were going to recommend, but today they declined the position, so I will be reposting that position tomorrow. So that's been pulled from the agenda. On page 2, at the bottom, Pat Odell, employee in the position of assistant football coach for Nicholas County High School, effective upon completion of any applicable WVSSAC or WVDE requirements. Page 3 is where we have quite a bit. Deborah Mullins, employee in the position as payroll supervisor, Secretary 3, Accountant 3 for Nicholas County Schools, effective May 1st, 2021. Shanna Mullins, employee in the position of Secretary 2, Accountant 2 at Gully River Elementary School, effective with the start of the 21-22 school year. Catherine Ward, employee in the position of halftime cook at Summersville Middle School, effective with the start of the 2021-22 school year. Crystal Clemens, employee in the position of one-on-one transportation instruction aide 4 for student currently enrolled at Zila Elementary School, effective with the start of the 2021-22 school year. Dolores Johnson, employee in the position of early education classroom assistant teacher, transportation aide at Cherry River Elementary School, effective with the start of the 21-22 school year. Angie Butcher, employee in the position of early education classroom assistant teacher, transportation aide at Summersville Elementary School, effective with the start of the 21-22 school year. Mary Queener, employee in the position of cook 1 at Gully River Elementary School, effective with the start of the 21-22 school year.
Robin Wilson, employee in the position of halftime cook 1 at Cherry River Elementary School, effective with the start of the 21-22 school year. Susan Amick, employee in the position of clerk 2, accountant 2 at Birch River Elementary School, effective with the start of the 21-22 school year. Charles Rose, employee in the position of bus operator for the Birch River area, effective with the start of the 21-22 school year. Nell Collins, employee in the position of bus operator for Birch River area, effective with the start of the 21-22 school year. Chris Potasnik, employee in the position of bus operator for the Birch River area, effective with the start of the 21-22 school year. And then I'm just going to read, I won't read all of these. Delbert Copenhaver, Craig Blake, Paul Williams, Monica Terry, Lemon Groves, and Jimmy Davis, employee in the position of bus operator for the Canvas Netty area, effective with the start of the 21-22 school year. Gary Roach, employee in the position of bus operator for Bus 132 with the start of the 21-22 school year. Lori Tyree, employee in the position of halftime bus operator for Bus 97 with the start of the 21-22 school year. Margaret Hickman, employee in the position of bus operator for Bus 9 with the start of the 21-22 school year. Then on page 6, we did not have any applicants for the summer Soul bus operator for Mount Nebo and Mount Lookout. Those positions will be reposted tomorrow. And also for the Kinder Boost Transportation Instruction Aid at Birch River Elementary and the Energy Express Custodian at Panther Creek Elementary School. Those will be reposted. So Nell Collins, employee in the position of summer Soul bus operator for Birch River Elementary School, effective with the start of the program. Camilla Griffith, employee in the position of Kinder Boost Transportation Instruction Aid at Cherry River Elementary School, effective with the start of the program. Wendy Torillo and Tim Deal, employee in the position of Kinder Boost Transportation Instruction Aid at Golly River Elementary School, effective with the start of the program. Kathy Maloney, employee in the position of Kinder Boost Transportation Instruction Aid at Glade Creek Elementary School, effective with the start of the program. Bonnie Ritchie and Tammy Hartley, employee in the position of Kinder Boost Transportation Instruction Aid at Panther Creek Elementary School, effective with the start of the program. Tina Schaefer, employee in the position of Kinder Boost Transportation Instruction Aid at Mount Nebo Elementary School, effective with the start of the program. Patricia Hanshaw, employee in the position of Kinder Boost Transportation Instruction Aid at Mount Lookout Elementary School, effective with the start of the program. Tammy Rader, Alicia Keffer, employee in the position of Kinder Boost Transportation Instruction Aid at Summersville Elementary School at the start of the program. Robin Short, employee in the position of Kinder Boost Transportation Instruction Aid at Zila Elementary School, effective with the start of the program. And Ethel Amick, employee in the position of Energy Express Cook at Panther Creek Elementary School, effective with the start of the program. Page 8 for you all is leave requests for employees. I will not read those aloud to protect the privacy of our employees.
Is the Kinder Boost, those are summer?
Correct, correct.
Is the chemistry program at Nicholas County on here? Did I miss that?
No.
I thought it was on the other. But
It is. It's at the top. Brian Bang, employing the position of chemistry teacher at Nicholas County High School. It's under professional, very first
okay,
page.
Thank you.
Are there any further questions for Mrs. Atkins in regard to personnel matters? Hearing none, thank you, Mrs. Atkins. And you said the press has a copy, right?
Yes.
Okay, the updated copy. Is there a motion to approve the personnel agenda as presented this evening?
I make the motion.
Mr. Berry moves. Is there a second to the motion?
A second.
Mr. Amick seconds. Any further discussion in regard to the personnel agenda? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, like sign.
Abstain,
Okay. All right, you have someone on the list that's...
Yes.
Okay. So, those opposed to the motion, we ask to be called for that. So, Madam Secretary, let the vote reflect that board members Amick, Berry, Moose, and Penix voted in favor of the motion, and board member Kaufman abstained.
Yes, sir.
Madam Superintendent, superintendent's information.
I would like to report that we did receive the floodplain permit today from the city of Richwood, so we're in good shape, good standing. Also, part of the section of the parking lot is also being removed to meet the floodplain requirements. So anyway, progress being made in Richwood, which is a very good thing. I have some really good news. The transportation department, Rocky, is he not here? Yeah, he's here. I'm telling you, I can't say enough good about Rocky Roberts. Now, I know he's probably going to turn all red-faced, and he likes to be the silent type, but he absolutely does a phenomenal job. Phenomenal job. Works 24/7. I call him evenings, weekends, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, doesn't matter. He answers that phone. He's out all hours of the night. So when I asked him to assume the role as transportation director and a facilities director, you know, that's a pretty big job, because both of those jobs are pretty busy. Because anytime something happens with a facility, who gets a call? He gets it. Anything happens with a bus, he gets it. Lots of calls. I'll have to say that I've truly been blessed with the amount of work that this man does, and he has surrounded himself with excellent people. He gives complete praise and credit to the people that he supervises. He has Connie Roberts, transportation supervisor, who does an absolute phenomenal job. Ralph Zangari, he is our bus mechanic supervisor, and Larry Thomas, Steve Herndon, bus mechanics, and all of the bus drivers, and he will tell you they do tremendous jobs. A lot of counties have difficulties with transportation departments, and I'll go to a superintendent's conference and I'll hear complaints about transportation. Guys, we don't have it. Our transportation department works so well together. They're good men and women. They do their jobs without complaint, and I can't say enough good about them. So now, things that I already knew about them, I'm proud to say the state has now recognized them. So, for the 2020-21 school year, the State Department of Education led efforts to evaluate the transportation system for each county school system. The evaluation system was based on a scale of 0 to 110. A score of 70 or below would mean a state takeover of the transportation system. As for Nicholas County, we received a score of 100, one of 8 schools in the state. No other school scored any higher. So we are one of the 8 to score the highest score in the state. So they were evaluated in 10 different categories. 2 categories that had to do with the quality and timely submission of bus fleet data. This includes keeping track of VIN numbers for each bus, buses driven daily, spare buses, handicap buses, and those to be auctioned, as well as other information concerning individual buses. 2 categories are timely and quality submissions of mileage data. They account for miles driven each month. This consists of curricular, daily routes, extracurricular, bus and athletics to Career Tech Center, after-school mileage, and the amount of diesel fuel used by each bus per month. 2 categories are timely and quality submissions of number of students on buses. One of the ways the state determines funding is based on the numbers of students transported. And also it indicates a number of defects, inspection reports of the buses. The 8th is maintaining the appropriate number of spare buses. The 9th is documentation of the amount of time each student spends on the bus. The state has recommendations as to the length of time that students can ride on the bus, and we must provide written documentation for students who exceed the recommended ride time. And the last indicator is that each county maintains an inventory of bus parts on their shelves. Again, this man is to be commended, as well as his entire staff, our bus drivers, transportation supervisor, mechanics. They work like a fine clock.
And I think too, if we're short a driver, he gets out and drives.
He does. So he, after he became transportation director, took it upon himself to go get his CDLs because we were short, and he did it. He went through the program, and he drives a bus. I mean, he does it all.
He does all that and being out all night.
Guys, he honestly, I feel really terrible. He honestly works all the time, and he always takes my calls. And these folks will tell you, I've tried to watch it, but I mean, I wear them out with calls. I don't stop, and they don't stop. And I know they probably wish they could break my fingers sometimes, but he is always on top of it. He already knows or already fixed it. It doesn't bother him he's rolled around in sewer. He has, I mean, you name it, the man has done it. And all hours of the night, he drives these roads. Guys, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to brag on him some more, because even when it comes to the transportation with being out and assessing our roads, people call him to get his take. Other counties call him to see what he thinks about it, because he takes the time to drive it. And I think that our routes and our calls for snow days and keeping people off the roads have been pretty good. Pretty good. We have very few complaints about it in this county, and it's attributed to Rocky. So I just wanted to give them the recognition they deserve and let you know of this great, great honor that they've received.
So Rocky's the Nicholas County Transportation Director of the Year.
If I'd have thought of it, I'd have done it.
He was also an excellent teacher, and he's very highly educated. When we were in grad school, he was known, we took so many AP courses that he was called an AP groupie by the people around the state. So,
one thing I learned very quickly in this job when I took it: surround yourself by good, smart people, and I did. So, like I said, I'm just very proud of the group of people I work with.
Absolutely. And Rocky, we do thank you from the board for the work that you do. And I know every time, if I call you within seconds, you return my call. And you answer the question, or you get the answer. So I greatly appreciate that. So, item 10 this evening are reports. And
Did Heather ever come?
what?
Did Heather ever come?
Heather Tolley. I knew there was something we were missing from earlier. I didn't see her this evening. Did you? Reports the SESC. We did have our meeting last week. It was generally it was just a regular business of the consortium, and there were a couple of presentations on educational materials and programs that can be used in capturing kids' time and getting them back up to speed. And so the superintendent is aware of those and can share those with instructional staff that she has. And other than that, that was about all we covered in that meeting last week. Bright Horizons, Mrs. Kaufman.
Haven't had a meeting since the last one.
Haven't had a meeting since the last one? Okay. Madam Secretary, any delegations for tonight?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you. Items for future agenda. I noticed on the last agenda, we had tabled a couple items. Those will be up on the Zoom meetings.
Yes, tonight's was so extensive, I figured I would put it on the next agenda.
Coaches policy and the MOU with Cameron Golf.
Yes.
Okay, future meeting dates. Right now, the regular meeting on Monday, May the 17th. Regular meeting on Monday, June the 7th, and regular meeting on Monday, June the 21st, and that will conclude the meetings for this fiscal year unless we, and there may be very much a need for a special meeting or a couple of special meetings that the superintendent will be needing to call. But she'll call us and notify us when she's ready to do those, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
May the 12th.
May the 12th, I was going to say May the 12th, we have a School Boards Association training at the Armory, and it's from 6 till 9, and you get 3 hours credit for it for board members training. So it's at the Armory here in Summersville with the other 5 counties from this region of the state. Also, as you heard earlier, May the 20th at the arena here, Richmond High School graduation will occur, and on May the 21st, Nicholas County High School graduation will occur, and both at the Summersville Arena. Any other dates or announcements, Madam Secretary?
No, I didn't receive any others other than the ones that I emailed to everyone.
Kevin's got something.
Mr. Hess.
Thanks. We'll have a budget hearing on May the 17th, and followed by a request to approve and adopt the budget.
Now that budget hearing will occur prior to the board meeting, right?
Yes.
May 17th. It's
Just
not
right, just
special.
right prior.
Just right prior to
This
it.
week.
Now, do we need to convene a meeting for that one?
I will have to look. I don't think it's I think it's just part of the regular meeting.
Okay, so
We'll have to look.
we're just in a meeting, and we'll just state at the beginning that it's a budget hearing and give people an opportunity to be heard regarding the budget.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, sir. Any other things to be brought before the board this evening?
No, when will ZMM be back to see us again or meet with us?
They're actually meeting with my principals on Wednesday. So we can have them back whenever the board wants. We can have them back in a couple weeks. Or
If they had
they're supposed to
more
work with us.
information, you know.
They are, they're going to work with us. We are, continuing with the design phase and trying to right-size the schools. So I should know more after Wednesday, and we can get them.
Let me see if Wednesday, May 12th, 6 to 9.
That's correct.
Okay.
At the Armory here, that's the 12th.
That's,
Yeah, and it's just School Boards Association training.
They beat us too. Just saying, Brad.
Mr. Moose is usually the one asking about the food, though.
Don't beat us.
Usually pretty good.
I guess I come in a strong second.
Hearing no other business to come before the board this evening, is there a motion to adjourn this evening's meeting?
Make a motion.
Mr. Berry moves. Is there a second to the motion? Mrs. Kaufman seconds. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, like sign. Madam Secretary, we're adjourned at 6:42 p.m.